Hey, this is Mark from Casting Crowns, and you're listening to Dispatch Radio.
Well, folks, welcome back to Dispatch Radio. We have another great guest with us, and he's one of my favorites. We've talked about Big Daddy Weave several times. You guys have heard me mention that you definitely need to be getting tickets. They're coming to Florida. There's about 6 dates in Florida in May. I'm hoping to get on the list, get there, and see them live. And it is a great, great show, great album, beautiful offerings. If you loved Redeemed and you haven't got a copy of the CD, something's wrong with you, man. This is part 2. Great, great CD, great, great music. And Mike Weaver's on with us now. How are you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Let's talk about the tour. Give everybody a little feel of how different this is, let's say, than other tours, how the music has transitioned now, especially after, because everybody, I think, Redeemed exploded so big. Give everybody a dose of how much has changed Mike Weaver, Big Daddy Weave, and the tour.
Man, you know, it's just been crazy. The attendance has just been awesome. But we really love these friends that are out with us. You know, Plum, gosh, we've been a fan of her music forever. People connect on such a deep level with her, man. We have a time, most of the nights have like a little Q&A time that people can get signed up for. And man, we have sat and people ask about like the deep cuts on her record, man, you know, just really having been ministered to by these songs, which is so cool. And then we've got the new kid on the block, you know, Jordan Feliz out with us too, which his record, dude, is so
great,
so
album,
good.
Great music.
I mean, the song "The River" is gigantic, and it like was so well received. But man, the whole record, there's so many other songs that are even more of my favorite song on there than the ones that people would instantly have heard. And so I've enjoyed. I just laid in my bunk the other night and just listened to that record and just really genuinely enjoyed it, man. It was really cool. And to see him experiencing some of this stuff for the very first time is really, really cool, because we played his hometown, Clovis, California. He came out, sang River, and people just went, you know, crazy. And at the end of it, like, he doesn't even know what to say. He was just left speechless. That was such a sweet thing to get to see, you know, with him. And we all feel like he's our little brother now. And so, you know, it's a great evening. The first part of the evening, we come in, we get to Big Daddy Weave is sort of the band in common, you know. And so we come out, we share a couple, and then Jordan comes out and plays a couple with us, and then Plum comes out and does a couple of her songs, all stuff that they've heard on, you know, Christian radio. And then the second half, we're all just out there together, which is my favorite part.
That's awesome.
But we just get to worship together at the end of the night, man. The Lord's done some really cool stuff through that time, man.
I have to mark the question off my list because it sounds like I'm going to get a dose if I can make it out to a show. Because I was going to ask, how come you've never been a part of Winter Jam? We just finished up and wrapped up a huge Winter Jam surge, obviously the first part of the year. And then, of course, they did this great documentary. And said, how come I've never seen Big Daddy Weave on this? So I'm going to have to ask Mike when I talk to him next time. Oh, never mind, guys. We have Winter Jam Part 2, a little subversion with he and Plum and Jordan on stage together. It's just totally being real. And that just sounds so awesome.
You know, and we love Eddie Carswell, and we love the guys from New Song, and they kind of are the minds and hearts behind Winter Jam. They invited us several times, and it would have been easier for us to go because we love them so much. But man, the Lord just told us to keep doing what we're doing, and it was like so we, you know, it probably would have been a whole lot bigger crowds or whatever, because that's such a huge thing. But man, the Lord is just doing something real special at these shows right now, and so we really just couldn't take time away from it to go see, because we feel like we're growing every night in Jesus, and it's real special nights together, man, on this tour.
Well, join Mike, Plum, Jordan Feliz. They're actually on the East Coast now in like this post-primary country. So if you listen to the political part of the show, poor Mike, he's out there trying to get these people to recruit and find Jesus after having to go to the primary yesterday. But he does head south. He heads to Florida. They do take a break during the summer before they head back out again on the road. We'll link to the tour. We'll link to the website and all that information there. If you get catching us online, especially catch one of the shows that are near you. It is a great album. Great music. And you know, Mike, is there anything special about this show, putting together this concert? Obviously you talked about having them all on stage together, but do you go into it thinking, I want to do something different this time? Do you go into it, you know, being on tour so long before, and now you're like, when you come up with that approach, is there some things in the back of your mind you're like, I want to accomplish this, I want to accomplish that?
I think that it's when you put it all together, especially in the second half, even though, and you could even do some of the same songs, but it never is the same. It's always a brand new thing. That's so cool. There haven't been two nights that have been exactly the same out here. And then towards the end of the set, we just stopped for a little while and just wait on the Lord together. There was one night the Lord used all the same songs, but he rearranged them in a completely different order, and then just kind of brought this unified message in a whole different way than we had before. And it was like, man, we were giving the guys whiplash, going, no, let's do this one now instead. But man, the Lord just used the same set of songs, but in a different order, and said something completely new, which was just refreshing to us. And I think if there's a word for the hour, and I think maybe this is even going forward, maybe this will be the theme of a record or something, but it's just pursuit, man,
Yeah.
It's just pursuing God and realizing he's been pursuing us all this time, but then just giving in and be like, well, I follow you. I'm going to follow you, I'm more than just a fan of who you are, I want to be a follower of who you are, and that's the difference. And man, we don't get it all right. We don't even pretend that, but it's like, but we're in pursuit. And I think that's where we grow in the Lord,
Great stuff with Mike Weaver. Again, if you're catching us live, you got to make sure you have your tickets. They're going to be in Port St. Lucie. This is in the middle of May on the 16th. They go to Punta Gorda. They go to Lakeland, Bradenton, Largo, Ocala. They're all over Central Florida. Got to get a ticket. Got to be there. Got to join us those nights. Try to enjoy him with Plum, Jordan Felice. Just great night of music, great night of praise from the Lord. We'll be back in a minute. We'll talk to Mike about his other passion, World Vision, some of the different things that he's doing there. Just a great, great group. Hang on.